Here we go. Sorry.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Hey.
Welcome to episode 3 of SpacePod. Last time
Thank you.
Last time we were talking, we were like all on location.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were in, I think we
Virginia.
were in Guam. No, we were in Prague. Was that the Prague pod?
Monaco. We were at the
That's
at
right.
Monaco.
The F1
Monaco,
Grand Prix. I
that's
remember.
right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
That's right.
Well, it's been a little bit, but we're reunited, SpacePod again, and we're here to talk about your next song, Truth. So, like we do
Let's
here.
get to the truth at the bottom of it.
Yeah.
The truth of the bottom.
The truth at the bottom. I'm liking your look, by the way.
Thank you so much.
Getting real hard Lebowski vibes.
Yeah. Lots of
Well,
Lebowski coming
that's
from that
just
corner.
like your opinion, man.
Whatever. So, usually we'll do what we usually do. I'll ask you a couple of songs about yourself, or a couple questions about yourselves, and then
Okay.
we'll get into the song itself. So, Truth, we're going to ask the truth about a couple of things. One is, so you guys all have full-time jobs.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Some of you have kids. You all have dogs. You all have girlfriends. So, how do you balance being in a band with real life?
Why is everyone looking? How do you balance it? Really, you're just busy. We're just busy, and honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way because I get bored, and then I do too many drugs. And
Oh my God.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, a simple answer is Google Calendar for me.
Yeah.
I think that's like the only way. I have 2 other bands.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of calendar making. So if you don't make the calendar,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's, girlfriends and family accepted. I think that there's kind of like a time for everything, and sometimes it's going to be like
You put it in boxes. You put things in boxes.
Yeah, it's like sometimes like there are gonna be weeks where I'm gonna try and write a lot of music. There'd be times where we were rehearsing a lot of music, and those times don't really overlap. It's like we're either doing one or the other. But then it's like, hey, sometimes work needs more attention, so you gotta focus in on that. Or sometimes girlfriends need more attention. You gotta focus your energy there, and other things suffer. But you try and keep everything afloat all at once. It's
Usually, I
tough
feel like it's
balancing
the
it.
dogs. The dogs is what they get the short end of the stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
know?
Well, they're partying pretty hard over
Yeah,
here, so
no.
Yeah.
as you can see.
well, Lily genuinely hates our music, so
Well,
it is very painful for her.
to balance it, Lou loves it. He will sit in front of the drum set,
Oh.
like with his freaking head in the drum set.
He's a silly boy.
Daphne tries to attack the drum set when I try and play drums.
Yeah.
It's maybe if I was a better drummer, she would be cool with it. But
Yeah, that's probably it. You know what's funny is when Lou is upstairs and I want him to come down, if I play the piano, and I'm talking like one note on the piano, he runs down. He loves it. It's crazy.
when I was growing up, if I ever was anywhere in the house and I was like, I wonder where my mom is. I wonder if she's at home at all I need to do is start playing guitar, and my mom immediately would have something for me to do.
Oh man,
Oh man, that's not cool.
damn it, Gail.
I think the cool thing is that like most people lose track or they start to deprioritize music as they get older or they get into their jobs. But you guys have all carried that and continue to keep it a priority.
That's very
so.
true. And it's like I'm always wondering if that's cool or pathetic.
I think we're on the line.
I think it depends on
It's
talent.
cool. It's
Like,
cool.
Teetering.
I will stroke Tom's ego and say I think he's talented enough where it makes sense for him to continue to prioritize.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
But I think that if you are a bedroom guitar player and you're still buying thousands of dollars worth of gear and you aren't that good, you should probably sell your gear.
Yeah.
Maybe get a Squire or Epiphone or to
Right.
get just buy the gear at your level of ability.
Right.
Put the time investment in.
Focus on your career instead.
Yeah, focus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we don't do. Let's be honest.
It's like Steven Seagal plays guitar. Apparently,
He does everything.
He
Yeah.
does.
He's a very talented man.
Yeah. And I don't know. I wouldn't say he's necessarily. Anyway, I'm not going to shit talk Seagal. Maybe I should.
Yeah,
That should
maybe,
get us a
why
lot more
not?
views.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like Space Laser Slam, Steven
The
Seagal.
Seagal.
Right, that's the
And that's
headline.
going to like take off on YouTube. Steven Seagal sucks at guitar. He should stop playing.
This is the most play Seagal has gotten in a long time. So
Yeah,
How
Yeah.
dare you? He's a treasure in Russia. National treasure.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys are getting into more of the live scene now. You have a couple gigs coming up in the
I looked at it. We got like 7 gigs
Yeah.
booked through August.
Yeah, we're looking good right now.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So what is the hardest part about breaking into the gigs, kind of getting those shows going?
Well, that is great because we've been a band for a year and a half, roughly.
Yeah.
And we didn't start getting gigs until like a month ago. And I mean, I was like reading blogs about how to do it. And this is not my first rodeo. That's the thing. Like I've gotten lots of gigs before, but like for some reason, just nothing was happening. Right.
Yeah.
And so Andrew and I, what did you call it? The charm
Offensive.
The charm offensive.
Yeah.
We just went out one day and went to all these different venues in town and ordered a beer and bullshitted the bartenders or the owners, whoever was there, until they felt like we were cool or something. I
Yeah.
don't really know. And then we just emailed them and they were like, yeah.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
like
so easy.
We stopped being some anonymous troll in their email inbox
Right.
asking for them to give us something.
Yeah.
And instead, we were like human beings. And
Yeah.
that helps. You know.
Yeah, and I think maybe we had somewhat of an aura of we kind of know what we're talking about, and like it wasn't. I don't know. We're and it's kind of what maybe goes back to what you said earlier about how we're like a little bit older and corporate and whatever, but like we know how to like communicate to some degree. It's not like back in 15 years ago when I was a musician, I would have walked in there looking like this and just be like, "What's up, man?" Smoking a joint, like, you got a gig for me, man? And they would have been like, "Get the fuck out of here."
Yeah.
So now you've reached the age of like a bar manager. So
Yeah, that's right.
you can talk. And it's like door-to-door campaigning.
Yeah.
So,
Pretty much. That's same with democracy. Nothing beats knocking on doors. You know.
That's right. Yeah, that's the lesson. Get out there and talk to people, because don't just sit in your basement and send emails. It doesn't do shit.
Yeah. But that's good. You guys got a couple of shows lined up.
Yeah.
And
I said 7, not a couple. I said 7.
7. The next one's at the Starlight Lounge on February 18th.
Yeah, no doubt.
Be
Nice.
like bragging
Come on
about
out.
our number of gigs, like Ric Flair bragging about his championship belts.
Right, or Trump, like his, rally numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
There were millions of people.
Millions of gigs. So many gigs.
so tell me about where you guys want to go from here. Where are you headed as a band?
I mean, I think that to a certain extent, when I joined up with these guys and we all kind of had chemistry, it was like, oh, this is going to be a fun band to play live with.
Yeah.
But in order to do that, it's like almost a necessary evil. Even though I love songwriting, it's like, oh, I know how fun this can be, but we gotta like get together some great songs and great recordings and get the whole shebang together. And now we're finally getting to like reap what I've wanted to, what we sowed a year and a half ago. And it's like, it's going to be the most fun part of it for me, I think.
Yeah.
I think for all of us.
Well, what do you think, Mike? I want to hear Michael's answer to this.
No, I mean, I think the same thing for the most part. I'm just excited. I mean, it takes time because to the point about just trying to get shows or gigs, you need something to show as like evidence of like we're not just some schmucks, some stoners off the street, just hitting up this bar to like come play solo guitar sadly in the corner. You have to build that, like the credentials, let's say, and that's like what we did for the last year plus, right? Like build those songs. Like
Yeah, that's
play
what
those
this
live
podcast is
recordings,
about,
like,
too.
well, same thing with the podcast, but this doesn't really show off our musical prowess.
Yeah.
Unless
Click
you're
like
gonna
and
start
subscribe,
singing right
baby.
now.
Yeah, smash that subscribe button.
Yeah,
Hit
smash
the like button so you get all notifications of the next podcast. Like, I hate myself right now.
But that's true. That's actually a pretty hard part of music. Like you don't have any reaction from anybody except in maybe the digital space for a minute.
Yeah.
But
Well, so if I can
I just got in this to sell pillows on YouTube, man. Let's get that sponsorship.
I think there's a market open for it. So
Yeah,
we lost
that guy's
a pillow
crashing and burning.
Treneur, I don't know what you call
Yeah.
him.
Well, I will say.
So let me just finish my
Okay,
thought.
sorry.
Damon.
Yes,
Yeah, go
yes.
ahead.
No, so this is where the fun part starts. Like this is
Fucking
what this
asshole.
year is going to be. It's like let's actually go out and play.
Yeah.
And do the fun thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm just looking forward to. I don't think it needs to be anything crazy. Couple maybe festivals if we can get them and some
Yeah.
nice local spots. And
That's kind of what
that'll
I'm
be
going
enjoyable.
for. Like, I would like to be. and I've been in this position before as a musician where I get to set the agenda. That's what I'm going for. Like, I want to play there, and I can.
Yeah.
You know, and I want to, like, I know I want to play this festival next summer, and I can. That's all I really, like, beyond that, it's like fortune and fame is obviously ridiculous. But just having your own...
TikTok
But not impossible.
TikTok
No, it's-
stars.
Yeah, but, like, just to be able to, like, write my own story
Yeah.
as a musician, you know?
Yeah. Now you guys have the control. So
Yeah.
it's, yeah.
I mean, and also, we'll see. Andy Summers was 36 when the Police released their first album.
that
Like,
right?
hey, not out of the question.
I suppose,
Yeah,
yeah.
a little long in the tooth, but I can still hang. Yeah.
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 I feel like the next round of campaigning should be like movie producers to
Mhm.
get your song somewhere
That's a
in
good
there.
idea.
That's how it goes.
Andrew's talking about knowing some people in,
Oh yeah,
in that world.
the placement. You know who you are. You're watching this right now.
We want to
get
be
in
in a
those
Charmin
Target commercials.
ASAP.
Yeah,
Which
Which
Charmin.
one? What did you say?
With the Bears?
Oh, Target. I want
Target?
to be with the Bears.
Yeah.
Like the butt wipe commercials.
I'm Budweiser, man, all the way. I mean, Sierra Nevada.
Yeah.
Sponsor us.
There you go.
Yeah.
So let's break it out into this song a little bit. So we're talking about truth here. And, you know, when you listen to this song, it's almost got like a musical Broadway type feel.
Yeah, I
So
bet.
just curious if you're influenced at all by like that layered Broadway type scene.
Yeah, not really. Like, I don't listen to it actively. Like, I just went to Hamilton actually a couple weeks ago in New York. That was dope.
Brag.
Yeah, but it was fucking cool.
Dude, I mean, Wait For It is a jam. So
But yeah,
undeniable.
no,
Yeah.
but I just like all types of music. But basically, what happened is I was just playing those chords, and like I really like that percussive. I like that vibe or whatever, and so
Yeah, it's
I
playful.
went with that. Yeah, that's right. And it's a lot of times as a rock musician, you're like riff oriented, or you're like
Guilty.
overall. Yeah, for sure. Like you're very riffy, but I just wanted something different, like just to kind of switch it up.
It's kind of like that other song that, like, now I'm forgetting the name, but it's part of your trilogy, your space trilogy.
My space trilogy
From your other band back in the day. It was
Oh yeah, the
it was
story of James
similarly
Douglas, the well suited.
theatrical. Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Which is
Theatrical.
definitely different, I would
Yeah.
say, from what you typically hear from us. So.
Yeah, I mean, I love bands like Queen, and they have songs like "Tie Your Mother Down," but then they have like "Seaside Rendezvous." You know, that's range. That's awesome, and I think that, especially too, like we could talk about like Tom and I, and who's like primary writer on songs, and like this is one of those songs where it flips the script because this is such a pop song, and it's
That's true. That was me. It was me writing a pop song, which
Exactly.
is not
Yeah,
normally how it goes.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you guys hear this, like you know, Andrew and Michael, like on the outside of this, of the writing process, what do you think, and how do you react and add to it?
So for me on this song, I would say, Tom really ran the show as far as writing the arrangement and everything. But I would say that there are two things that I'll say.
Yeah.
One is in the recording process, I always love finding the things that you can add in a recording that you're not necessarily going to miss live, but you're missing in the recording. And so one thing I added was a 12-string guitar, and I think that kind of glues the cymbal.
That was a great addition.
Yeah, it like glues the cymbals in with the rest of the band because it's right around that like frequency range of the cymbals, and it kind of gels everything together. And I always love like 12-string, like birdsy kind of stuff. And that's one part. And then the second part is I think that Tom wrote this song, or maybe completed the song, after our first kind of trial gig that we did in Richmond before we had really started writing the album. And we had a few songs. And we went and saw a band called Pom Pom. And at least in my mind, I hear that outro bridge, and I'm like, oh, this is Tom doing like what would be like the way Pom Pom would do, like a really big crescendo at the end of a song. Yeah. But
No, Pom Pom was a big that shook me, that show a little bit.
yeah.
Because that was such an amazing live performance.
Check out the band Pom Pom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pom Pom, Richmond, Virginia, Charlie Glenn, J. Roddy Wolston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great fucking performers. God damn. Like I was like, we need to write songs like this. So just for live shows, and I don't know if this one necessarily qualifies on their level of like live
Yeah.
energy, but yeah.
But it's like the theatrical nature of it is there. Maybe not the same essence, but
Yeah.
like the big toms, like come the bridge section.
So, just on the lyrics themselves, so structuralist man,
Yeah.
postmodern woman.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me the story there. What's beneath the
So
surface?
this is great, and I get to like brag about all of us a little bit here because we all went to France last summer, and during that time there was a day where I literally spent the whole day at the Marseille airport, and I read a book by Michael Foucault, who's a 20th century French philosopher, postmodern philosopher, and it just got me thinking about all that stuff. And so a lot of this song references 20th century French music, whether it's postmodernism or structuralism or like there's the lyric like find your own meaning, which would be like Sartre and the existentialists and the Zen Buddhism. Like there's like everything I'm kind of like throwing into this pot, and just kind of like puking it out, you know what I mean, into a song. And every line references a different tradition, a different philosophical tradition, whether it's like, are you worried about the truth? Yeah. Or is it just epistemological relativism, which would be kind of a postmodern approach to epistemology? And then it goes on and on from there. But like basically, it's all just because I read a lot of philosophy and
Yeah.
especially like the 20th century French stuff, which is where this song mostly came from.
Is that the book that you bought in Nice?
No, that was Rousseau.
Oh, okay.
The Social Contract, which I'm super proud of owning that book. And Mikey turned me on. He was like, Tommy, because we were in Nice, yeah? And
Yeah.
he's like, we all split up. And then we met up again at one point, and he's like, Tommy, there's a fucking open air book market. You have to go. And I went and like ended up making like friends with this guy who I actually emailed a couple of times. But yeah, he just had every amazing French
Is it Descartes
philosophy book.
collection? Like
Yeah,
something
he had
ridiculous?
Descartes. Yes, he had all sorts of amazing old French philosophy books.
Yeah.
Which, if I had $1 million, I would have just been like, I'll take all of them.
I will say, like, we were at this open air market drinking drinks and we, like, talking about philosophy, and I've never seen you more lit up in my life.
Oh, I love that
you
shit,
were
yeah.
so, like, in it. So.
Yeah.
So what does this song mean to you guys?
Oh, I'll go first because I don't know half of everything he just explained is all new to me. My favorite part when we play the song is making up words that fit the same cadence.
Do you make up words?
Yeah, I do.
Fucking asshole.
So, but it's just, I just like the song. It's just a fun, enjoyable poppy song.
Mm-hmm.
And just the harmonies in it are great. So, it doesn't like particularly mean anything significant, but it is a fun song.
Yeah.
And it's nice to know where the words come from.
But it has some fun shit like, are you worried about the youth? Because every generation's going to fuck up the nation. I think we can all relate to that, right? Like, we're millennials or whatever. When we were coming up, everybody was like, you guys are fucking up America, right? Like, there were
Yeah.
articles and, like,
Now
boomers
we're
were
like
complaining.
the old men
Yeah.
yelling at the cloud.
Now we're like
These fucking
bitching about
Zoomers.
Gen Z
yeah.
and stuff
yeah,
like
it's all
that.
cyclical.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Everybody
So,
hates the generation after them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like them, though. I mean, my daughter's
Oh,
a
fuck
Gen
'em.
Zer, and I think she's lovely.
I don't know. She sucks, dude. Just kidding. Mommy's amazing.
Yeah.
No, for me, I'm like, this was just such a hard left from the songs that Tom had been bringing, and I loved it because, and granted, it wasn't totally hard left, but because I'd heard some of the things you'd written before, and I think that you have written like really lyrically great things. But for me, this is almost like showing off, but in a really cool way. It's like if you look at a lot of the songs where maybe you're the primary writer, it's like there's not a lot of words in this song. It's just like, oh, I've been holding them all back. Like, here you go. Here's like
That's true.
multiple verses, and even then it tricks you because it's like the verse cadence goes on just a little bit longer than what like a traditional pop writer would do, like Dylan would do. Like Dylan would say, hell with it, I'm going to write Sad-Eyed Lady of the Lowlands. It's going to be like a 9-minute song with like 5 verses. But it's not that. It's still more pop than what Dylan
Condensed.
would do. But
Yeah.
it's like, oh man, there's so much in there all at once. And I don't know. It's a cool song. I like it.
Well, it's interesting because, usually songs are about heartbreak or love, and it kind of stays in that vein, but you guys really take it to the next level, and you hit on these political topics, these maybe sensitive issues.
Maybe, yeah.
So is that intentional? Where is that coming from?
Well, that's who, we're human beings existing in the world, and we're responding to what's happening to us and thinking about what it means, and that's what an artist does. That's what songwriters do, or painters, or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're just like, this is what I feel about it. This is who I am in relation to the world or society in which I exist.
The only thing you left off was man. This is what I feel, man.
I fucking hate the Eagles.
Speaking the truth. Last question.
Yes.
This a characteristic of your band, but you have a sweeping ending here, like that. That crescendo, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that you try to weave into every song, or does it intentionally or organically, just happen?
I feel like it's organic. It has to be. Like every song can't be this transition from, in this case, a poppy to crazy synth, like loud, big, harmonic. Like, not every song can be like that, but it just fit kind of, I imagine, this is an assumption on my part, like just the poppy nature of the song, and it's like, let's go back to something like crazy. But then we have other songs that we haven't talked about yet that stay similar, like it's the same vein,
like
kind of throughout, like Mediations, which we'll talk about, or
New Orleans. I'd say kind of like there is a ebb and flow, but it's like the end is very chill. I'd say.
But then sometimes it's like this song calls for getting hit in the face, and then I think just Tommy knows. He's like, I think we hit him in the face here.
It's like an intuition. Then.
And
I think so. It's not intentional.
This song in particular needed it because it's so pop, and then like during the verses, and then so beautiful during. I mean, come on, man, our harmony sounds.
Oh,
so
did we
good.
not talk about the harmonies? This is great. The harmony songs.
The harmonies are great.
And these harmonies took like the least amount of work.
Yeah.
It was just like natural, like all our voices just fit in where they fit in, and it was by this time when we were writing the song, it was like for the chorus, it was just like, oh, we know.
Yeah.
It might be because it's so simple. Like the chords are actually so simple, like very deceptively so.
That's
perhaps.
true.
But it's just like a 1-4-5.
Yeah.
It's just like it could be a blues tune. It's just so basic.
And with the harmonies, is that something that you guys are just testing out, and suddenly it's like, oh wow, that's it.
It's not that. It's like as soon as I hear him sing, or I'll hear Andrew sing, and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna hang out here. Like I just know where it needs to be a lot of the time.
Got a good ear, yeah.
Yeah,
And
like
you go high usually.
Yeah.
No, not for this one though. Like
Yeah.
I
Oh,
actually
really?
take and on a lot like the last couple songs, I feel like. And I'm like, Andrew, just take it. And he just screams off mic, and it's like perfect. And then I take that like it's typically the middle one now, I
Right.
feel like. And in this song, it's the middle harmony.
And I'm
which
always
is
the
so
low one
comfortable.
in the
Yeah,
band.
you're always the low one
because I
that's where you like to
smoke a
hang
pack
out.
a day.
You look like this. You look like this. You're just
Yeah.
low class.
Right.
Like, yeah.
It's like, what's
You take the
easiest?
low one. Yeah.
What's the easy one?
Yeah.
Sorry,
You son
dude.
of a bitch.
I'm gonna give you that Ken Tamplin Vocal Academy singing course, and you're gonna be belting out
Oh,
80s
Andrew's
metal tunes.
Yeah,
It'll be
Andrew's
great.
been trying to like sing coach me for years at this point.
Not
At
really.
this point, he's
Tom's-
65
Tom's
years old.
pitch
It's not
is
gonna
better than. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Well, it's truth. Where can we go check it out?
It's everywhere. Spotify, YouTube's.
Is it on
Apple
YouTube?
Music.
Because I tried to find it.
By the time
This
it
comes
hasn't
out.
actually been. I don't want to give
Figure
away
it
the.
out.
I don't want to let out
The secret
say how the
sauce.
hot dogs are made here, but yeah, it's on Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, Amazon. What else? Apple,
Truth Media.
Pirate Bay,
Pirate Bay. Yeah. It's on MySpace probably somewhere.
BitcoinScam.net.
FreedomEagle.ru.
All right. This has been a good SpacePod. We'll see you guys
Thank
later.
you, Ashley.
Thank you,
Oh, thank
Bye.
you.
Clap.